Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
The go-home episode of WWE Raw before SummerSlam doesn't end well for Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, as Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed destroyed them. This happened when the OTC attempted to rescue the Yeet Master from the villainous faction's beatdown. The OG Bloodline members initially overpowered Breaker and Reed, but soon the heel stars took charge and destroyed the Samoan stars. Even Reed executed multiple tsunamis on Jey and took him out completely. Given the current situation, there is a chance that Jey Uso may be unable to compete at the biggest party of the summer due to the intense assault. If this happens, Roman Reigns will have no partner for the upcoming Tag Team Showdown. In this article, we will discuss 3 new partners for the OTC if the 39-year-old star fails to make it to SummerSlam this year. 3. Jey Uso might come to aid Roman Reigns. Jey Uso is currently part of the SmackDown brand and is involved in a feud with the MFT. Big Jim is assisting Jacob Fatu to even the odds against Solo Sikoa's faction before his steel cage match for the WWE United States Championship at SummerSlam. Since Jimmy doesn't have a match of his own yet, there's a chance he could accompany Roman Reigns. This would reunite the OG Bloodline members, and they would team up to take revenge for the attack on the Yeet Master by Braun and Bronson. 2. Lance Anoa'i may reunite with the OTC at SummerSlam. Last year, reports emerged that Lance Anoa'i had already signed with WWE, but the star has yet to make his debut. Sources indicated that his injury might be the reason for the delay. Since these reports are from months ago, Lance might finally appear in WWE at SummerSlam and become Roman Reigns' partner. It's crucial to note that Lance and the OTC were part of a segment on Raw in 2019 when the Big Dog rescued him from an attack by Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon. So, if they team up at the biggest party of the summer, this will serve as their reunion in the Stamford-based promotion. 1. The Rock could return to shock the WWE Universe. The Rock hasn't been part of WWE since Elimination Chamber 2025. With SummerSlam 2025 set to be a major event, an appearance from the final boss is anticipated to take place. When Roman Reigns defeated Solo Sikoa in a tribal combat match on the debut episode of Raw on Netflix, The Rock acknowledged the OTC. This confirms that there is no heat between these two stars, according to the storyline. Considering this, it's likely that the final boss could return to join forces with the head of the table to take down Braun and Bronson if Jey doesn't compete at SummerSlam. As the sun sets on the road to SummerSlam 2025, Roman Reigns stands at a dangerous crossroads. With the bloodline in disarray and Jey Uso's status uncertain after a brutal backstage assault on Raw, the tribal chief is suddenly without a trusted right-hand man for the most important tag team battle of the year. Set to face the unlikely alliance of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins in a tag team main event at SummerSlam, Roman Reigns was banking on Jey Uso to help him reassert his dominance. But Jey was found unconscious in the locker room area, with officials blaming a mystery attacker. The locker room whispers point to internal betrayal, but no one dares speak the truth to Roman's face. With time running out, Reigns is left to search for a new partner, someone who not only matches his power and presence but also aligns with his cold-blooded vision of tribal dominance. Here are 3 explosive possibilities WWE could explore if Jey Uso doesn't make it to SummerSlam. 1. Braun Breaker, the Rabbit Enforcer. As Roman paces in a backstage corridor at SmackDown, fuming at the absence of Jey, Paul Heyman whispers a name: Braun Breaker. Breaker, fresh off his ruthless beatdown of Ricochet and a dominant showing on Raw, has been floating in no man's land since his shocking call-up. He's a wrecking machine, unpredictable and dangerous, exactly the kind of dog Reigns can unleash at SummerSlam. When Reigns confronts Breaker backstage, the tension is thick. Roman doesn't ask, he commands. "You want to eat at the table?" Roman growls. "Then prove your loyalty in blood." Breaker smiles, his eyes full of fire. "No problem. Just point me at someone and let me break him." At SummerSlam, the fans are stunned as Breaker emerges in black gear with bloodline red accents. He spears Seth Rollins through the barricade, slams Cody through the announce table, and stands beside Roman with blood on his hands and no remorse in his heart. The alliance isn't about family, it's about destruction. Roman doesn't need brothers. He needs monsters. 2. Solo Sikoa, the betrayer returns. Ever since Solo Sikoa turned on Roman Reigns months ago, fans assumed the bloodline war had reached the point of no return. But what if Roman's greatest act of manipulation is still to come? With Jey Uso sidelined and the pressure mounting, Roman shockingly calls Solo out on SmackDown. In the ring, he doesn't yell or threaten, he simply says, "You were always the one. Jey just held you back." Solo doesn't flinch. But Paul Heyman, ever the puppeteer, slips a contract and a subtle nod to the younger brother. "Tribal business," he whispers. The following week, Solo brutally attacks Jey Uso in the parking lot, drags his unconscious body in front of a camera, and utters just 2 words, "Atonement begins." At SummerSlam, Solo reunites with Roman, not as a pawn, but as a prince restored. Their bond is no longer based on blood alone but on power, ambition, and revenge. Fans erupt. Social media goes nuclear. Solo and Roman dismantle Cody and Seth in a methodical, emotionless masterclass of pain. 3. Jacob Fatu, the final bloodline revelation. The most dramatic twist of all? Roman unleashing a secret family weapon no one saw coming, Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf. Jacob, the real-life cousin of Roman, has been destroying competition on NXT and independent promotions for years. But until now, he's remained on the sidelines of the Bloodline saga. That changes the SmackDown before SummerSlam. In the final segment, Roman stands alone in the ring. "Jey ain't here," he declares. "But I don't need him. I brought in someone you've all forgotten. Someone you're not ready for." The lights go red. A war drum sounds. The arena goes silent. Suddenly, Jacob Fatu storms out, snarling, draped in a Samoan warrior cloak. The crowd explodes. Commentary loses it. Paul Heyman cries. Fatu steps into the ring, nose to nose with Roman. There's a beat of silence, and then a brutal handshake. The crowd knows, this isn't a tag team. This is a tribal conquest. At SummerSlam, Jacob moves like a storm, flipping Cody over the top rope, clawing at Seth with animalistic fury. Roman watches with eerie pride, letting the werewolf off his chain. After the match, Roman holds both tag titles high. Fatu roars to the heavens. A new chapter of the bloodline has begun, one more savage than ever before. Aftermath, what it means for WWE. Regardless of who replaces Jey Uso, Roman Reigns will use this crisis to further cement his legacy. Each of these options changes the landscape of WWE. Breakker becomes the dangerous enforcer who serves no one but respects dominance. Solo's return marks the start of a deeper betrayal storyline with long-term implications for the Anoa'i dynasty. Jacob Fatu elevates the bloodline into its final terrifying form, a warrior tribe reclaiming the yard with primal force. Meanwhile, Jey's absence becomes a looming mystery. Was he attacked by Cody or Seth? Or did Roman orchestrate it himself to make room for a more vicious ally? SummerSlam 2025 could be the beginning of the Bloodline's resurrection, or the dawn of its darkest hour. Final thought. Roman Reigns doesn't need a partner. He needs a weapon. Whether it's a beast like Breakker, a fallen brother like Solo, or a tribal warrior like Jacob Fatu, one thing is clear, the tribal chief will not walk alone into SummerSlam. Even if he has to forge a new bloodline in fire. Fans better prepare. This isn't about family anymore, it's about legacy, survival, and absolute power.